We're going to have our first speaker up, ladies and gents. This is a man who has passion running through his veins, eloquence and working class roots, working class desires to see a better Scotland for one and all. Put your hands together for Mr. Tommy Sheridan!
Hello folks, is it this one here? Is this alright? Can everybody hear us okay? Can I first of all, taking up some of the comments that have been made at the side here, can I first of all congratulate you for making it here today, because there are a lot of road barriers up, you're probably aware. Even though certain races finished hours ago, the barriers are still up, but it's not prevented you from getting here, so well done folks.
How many would you say are here?
Can I just say to you, this last couple of days, there's so many reasons, brothers and sisters, so many reasons for us to be an independent nation. But in the last couple of days, I couldn't help think as I watched the news unfold in relation to the literal massacre, the genocide that has taken place in Gaza and now in the West Bank as well. I couldn't help think of another reason why we on the 18th of September have to have the courage and the vision to take our own destiny into our hands and become an independent nation, so that on the 19th of September we here in Scotland can be one of the nations of the world that declares openly that we are withdrawing from any diplomatic relations with Israel whatsoever and boycotting that country. So that we as a small independent nation on this planet can stand up in solidarity with the men, the women, in particular the children of Gaza and the West Bank, who have been slaughtered by guns, slaughtered by bullets, slaughtered by missiles, supplied by the United States of America and by the United Kingdom. It's a damn disgrace what's happening, brothers and sisters. We know we've got an opportunity on the 18th of September to stand up in the world and say to the world that we're fed up. We're fed up with Live Aid. We're fed up with Band-Aid. We're fed up with Red Nose Weeks. We're fed up with a planet that says there's not enough money, there's not enough resources to feed the starving children of the world. There's not enough money to solve malaria and cholera and diarrhea and build enough mosquito nets to save the children of the world. But brothers and sisters, there's always enough money for missiles and bombs and wars. We're fed up with that. We here in Scotland on the 18th of September have got the opportunity to say we're going to be different. We're going to be different because we know in our hearts one of the main reasons to vote yes on the 18th of September is we're going to send a message across the planet that we would rather feed the wains, build the hospitals, invest in the schools, than spend another penny on a weapon of mass destruction. That's what we're going to do. We're not just going to become an independent Scotland. We're going to become a nuclear-free Scotland as well, brothers and sisters. I had the great pleasure last night to attend a play that David Heyman is performing. And in that play, he talks about the transformation of certain people in Scotland who most of their lives have been Labour supporters, because Scotland was a working class country that was brought up for many years to support Labour. Brothers and sisters, the working class of Scotland have not abandoned the Labour Party. The Labour Party have abandoned the working class of Scotland. And that play is about that man's journey from being a Labour supporter to being an independent supporter. And in the course of that play, there were certain points made about what this vote is about and what it's not about. Many of you here will have different political opinions. Many of you here will vote for different political parties or individuals in 2016. What we have to do in a united fashion, brothers and sisters, is we have to make the point time and time and time again. The 18th of September is not about Alex Salmond, the SNP, or any political party or individual. The 18th of September is about the future of Scotland. That's what it's all about. People, I've had the pleasure, the great pleasure of addressing 65 meetings, speaking to 12,000 people across Scotland. We've got another 45 meetings to go. And I'll tell you, at those meetings people ask, what about the pound? What about the European Union? What about the head of state? What are we going to invest in first? Brothers and sisters, we've got to say loud and clear here. Those questions are important, but they're also irrelevant.
Yeah.
They're irrelevant unless we first of all vote for independence. The way I would ask you to think about it, brothers and sisters, is we've got a big book in front of us, and it's the book of Scotland's future. And the pages are blank. They're blank right now. The only way we can open that book and begin to write Scotland's future is by first of all voting for independence. Because if we don't vote for independence, then that book of Scotland's future won't be written by any of you. It'll be written by the southeast of England and the Westminster cretins. That's the reality. We have to say to ourselves, brothers and sisters, are we really going to stand by and be the first country in history that was offered its freedom but didn't take it? Are we really going to stand by and be a country that instead of having to pick up a stone or pick up a gun, only has to pick up a wee pencil to get our freedom, and we're going to reject it? Brothers and sisters, you know, we stand on the edge of a massive, massive historical breakthrough here. This wee country of ours is proud enough, is wise enough, is smart enough, is courageous enough, and is certainly rich enough to stand on our own 2 feet and be an independent nation. We've been told for decades we're no good enough. Told for decades we're no big enough. Told for decades we're not smart enough. Told for decades we're not rich enough. I took part in a wee show recently, this week, and I was on with Michael Reinvented Portillo, the right-wing buffoon who used to be the Defence Secretary, a right-wing Thatcherite who now doesn't know what it means to put his hand in his pocket because the BBC pays for everything to send him across the whole of England, Wales and Scotland on railways paid for by you. And Michael Portillo said in response to my argument for independence, what Mr. Sheridan has to understand, you know, is once they go independent, they'll lose all the subsidies from England. Seriously. Seriously. To think that guys who are supposed to be well educated can still utter such bloody nonsense.
Yes.
We have to make the point time and time and time again, brothers and sisters. Not 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years, but the last 33 years in a row, this country has been a net contributor to the United Kingdom exchequer. We put more in than we've got out. We ain't no subsidy junkie.
No.
We're actually contributors that have kept the United Kingdom standing.
Yes. Right.
And if you think about it, if you think about these multi-millionaires in cabinet, 29 in a cabinet, 23 of them personal millionaires that attack the poor every single day of the week, attack those in benefits, attack the disabled, attack lone parents, attack anybody that they think they can make scapegoats for their problems, for the causes of poverty and unemployment and social division that they have caused. You think about this. See if we were a drain on the United Kingdom, do you think they'd want to keep us? The reason they want to keep us is A, because they need our money, and B, because they want us to keep their nuclear weapons.
That's right. That's right.
Brothers and sisters, I personally, as an internationalist, as a socialist, I personally don't want nuclear weapons to go to England. I want nuclear weapons to be decommissioned completely. That's what I want.
Worldwide! Worldwide!
But in the interim period of the next few years that it may take to decommission those weapons, I want them out of Scotland.
Yep.
And if they're looking for somewhere to store them pending decommissioning, let's get them down to the Houses of Parliament and the River Thames. Brothers and sisters, think about this for a moment. There are some of us here who are more mature than others. Some of us here with receding hairlines. The truth is, for the first time actually, it's a real tan. I don't know what hot sunbeds would do if I stopped using them. I think they'd go into liquidation. Brothers and sisters, the reason I ask you to think about that is because we know in our hearts that the real winners from independence won't be the 50 pluses. It'll be the 8-year-olds and the 9-year-olds and the 10-year-olds.
And that one right there, Tommy.
It'll be young kids like this young lady down the front here. They are going to be the inheritors of a new Scotland, brothers and sisters. And let's paraphrase that great man who made a great speech in relation to trying to conquer rights for the blacks of America. I hope that we in our hearts can build a Scotland, brothers and sisters, that by the time that this young girl here reaches my age, we will have children in Scotland who will say, Daddy, what was nuclear weapons?
Yeah! Yes! Yes!
They'll say, Daddy, what was racism?
Yes!
And you know, perhaps most importantly of all, because it's the mother of so many of our problems, I hope we're going to have children in a future independent Scotland who are going to say, Daddy, what was poverty?
Yes! Oh, yes! Yes!
Remember the words of the immortal Nelson Mandela, brothers and sisters. Poverty is man-made. Poverty can be unmade. He also said, brothers and sisters, may your life's choices be guided by hope, not by fear. Brothers and sisters, my final words to you are this. To use the song of Labby Sifri to keep us going in this last 6 weeks.
Yes!
It's neck and neck. We can win this.
Yes.
Brothers,
Get out there!
brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough, when we know better, just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway.